Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've saddened that a pandemic has struck and not everyone is vaccinated, so we can't all get together like we would on the first Wednesday of every month at the Tom Woodruff monthly open mic called Community Poetry, where I was always thrilled to be able to share poetry from new scarce publications, collection books, either issue books or monthly books or issue collection books or annual books. In keeping that spirit alive, since we can't run open mics, I run mine from Zoom meetings, and in honor of his reading space, I am keeping the spirit of that alive by doing readings during that same time, 1 to 3 p.m. on the first Wednesday of every month, like it would be at Half Race Books at 5555 North Bar in Austin, Texas, which I believe they're open now, but because of worrying about contact of too many people, because I don't like making the joke because people might have cooties they can't get together. So they're keeping people safe. I get it. Not the way apparently you can't keep people safe in Arlington, Texas, like this morning with a shooting that just happened there, and I would sound like a horrific reporter by saying, well, here we go again. I hope that everyone is not fatally wounded and that everyone is safe and that everyone can get back on their feet as soon as possible, as we've all been hoping for far too long already. I thought, in honor of this space, though, I would read poetry because we are all about community poetry on this day and this time every month. So I was going to read to you a block of poems from the Down in the Dirt, May to August 2021 issue collection book that is titled Lockdown's Over. And I keep looking at this in the camera and thinking that this is a glare, but this is just the brightness of the statue in these spots here, with Eva Perón actually sprinting out of the statue in Buenos Aires, which seemed like an appropriate image for saying lockdown's over. Let me break free and actually be out on my own again. And so that is the cover for that. And I thought I would share with you a block of poems from this book on different themes. I hope you enjoy them. This first one is a short one, as I know host of this open mic, when it was running, Tom would always know if I had, as the editor of Down in the Dirt, if I had a short story and there was a little bit of space left on the page, not enough for a piece of artwork, and I wouldn't put somebody else's short poetry there, I'd give them their own page so they have space. I'd cram a tiny little piece there. And that's what this is. This is the first one I'm going to share with you. And it is titled On the Surface. Everything seems so perfect on the surface. You make sure on the surface you have it all, and without trying you upstage everyone else. But no one sees what your mind goes through. Behind closed doors, you're falling apart. You fear you're losing your mind, but don't tell anyone. Your house of cards is so precariously balanced for anyone to ever consider it's about to fall apart. Your life is supposed to be perfect. So, now what? I leave that to you. As I said, sometimes there's just a little bit of space, and I will have room for a poem. And sometimes I'm lucky enough when somebody submits a poem, they knew that I wrote, one person knew I wrote poems for every element in the periodic table. Released a book, The Periodic Table of Poetry. I think they might have bought it. I don't know. I have no idea. But they decided to start writing prose pieces about elements, and they've been submitting them to me, and depending on the length, they'll be in either Down the Dirt magazine or CC&D magazine. And if they have material there, I'll try to cram something short of my own if there's room, like there is at the end of this piece of prose. I've got a Twitter-length poem. They're going to be in a Twitter-length book for Beryllium, and you can't see this image in here because it stinks on these video things. But if you want to actually see this image, you can find it from scars.tv/dirt in looking for details in the book Lockdown's Over, or you can look in my writing section for this book title. It's called Beryllium Shimmers. and you'll find a link for this as it appeared in Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Tumblr. Not Pinterest. I had to think of where else it is. It's been like in a bunch of places, but I'm trying to name them all. This is a short piece and it's called Beryllium Shimmers. Your emerald essence is the chlorophyll of the fields. Your aquamarine aura intensifies our blue earth skies. Your beryllium brilliance brings out the blue in our oceans. I'm so attracted to you when you make the universe shimmer. I'm sorry, that's fun. And I'm looking forward to actually working on the challenge of completing a Twitter-length periodic table for every single one, which is a lot of work. But back to poems that are in the middle, in one bulk block here, and they've got two in a row that have Twitter, Instagram images to go with them. This first one is titled Over the Lives, and there's another shot of it. Yes, there's two of them here. Over the Lives is the image. You can't see it here, but if you want to look for details on the poem Over the Lives, you can find the color image. I think that last shot was Puerto Rico, and I think this was Puget Sound. And then there's Antarctica. Okay, crazy photos with these things, but this is Over the Lives. People come here, set up their homes over the lives of those who have died. The Polish, the Jews, and they thought that just because they moved here, these terrible fates wouldn't happen to them. I'm not going to tell you the details of that one. And you assume, because I said that, you think it's Nazi Germany. It's not. Anywho, next poem, something for you to think about. This is Elaborate Exaltation. Elaborate Exaltation. And I need to share that image with you because this one is a scene from Antarctica. Look at this crazy mountain. It's just nuts. It's really, really cool. And the blue is insanely blue in the oceans of the Southern Ocean. Amazing. But if you want to see it, go find it online. You can find a colored version and it's double plus awesome. This is called Elaborate Exaltation. These elaborate roads with phenomenal views to the summit of this majestic mountain are for you. After you have been this impenetrable fortress, you become the summit, and I must exalt you. Go ahead and take a guess what that's about. Or else find a way to contact me and ask if you're interested. This next poem is titled Quesadich in Our Underworld. You hung around with us for I don't know how long, and when we'd all go out, you'd buy us around. You wanted to be in our good graces, and you got there. You got under our skin, and we took you in. After all this time, you thought we confirmed you. You wanted to be a part of our family, but my outfit isn't that naive. I think my crew knew not to trust someone so willing to suck up. Because we all know you wanted to be a made man, but to us, you became the marked man. We knew you were the one who talked to the cops. You were the stool pigeon. You were the snitch. We may have been blind enough to let you into our fold, but believe me, right now, my eyes are wide open. We've seen the double crossing you try to keep so well hidden, but you're no friend of ours. This is Quesadich in our underworld, and for us, we don't need to sit down to settle this beef about the real rat. You better hope the contract's not out, 'cause We can smell you from a mile away. This is for Brian, and it is titled Extra Blade. He used a cane and raved, talking about how much he loved his new cane. It had this really cool ornate handle. But once, as he was waiting at the airport to go through security, he noticed that the handle was loose. He started to unscrew the top of this cane. Once he did, he pulled out a 14-inch long, thin, sharp metal blade. He was glad he noticed this before security at the airport stopped him, and he felt bad that he couldn't bring his new favorite cane along with him on his trip. But with this new cane, he was really glad with his discovery. Though he always kept knives on him, this new cane gave him one more hidden extra blade. This, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to read 3 more for you in this section. I hope you like these poems from this section of the Down in the Dirt May to August 2021 issue collection book, Lockdown's Over. And this poem is titled Learning More 2020 Edit. It's amazing how I learn more, how I take it all in, how I think I'm just learning little random pieces of information, and that is when I find out that all the pieces relate and that there is meaning to almost everything I see or do. You were making all the details possible by working so hard. Thank you. And I thank you. And I thank you because Mom and you are what made us, us. I know all us kids were somehow creative, but once I was looking in an unused stove in the basement, and I found an old box of old black and white photographs, and I didn't know where they came from. I asked you, Dad, and you said that you used to be a photographer, and that you took those pictures when you were in high school to develop the pictures. And now you gave me this, my own snapshot of you, too. This was something I learned about you through chance, from firsthand. Learning about you, getting these tiny glimpses, it is as if I have taken those snapshots of your life. Now I can slowly piece this all together and make the picture more complete. I know that life is not easy and it all takes work. Your life has been difficult at times too. Your life has been rich as well. Your life has also made me rich. Rich from you, from being a part of your life. When people now tell me things about myself, I know the pieces came from that have made me whole. I know who had given this to me, and I thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 2 more poems for you guys from this section of Down in the Dirt's issue collection book, Lockdown's Over. This one is titled Vortex Sucks Us In, and it was written on June 14th, which is Flag Day. Flag Day. And I believe that is also Tom Woodruff's birthday, host of the open mic that I'm reading these in honor for. So this was written in honor for his birthday as well as Flag Day, as well as something. So it's something. So I hope you guys enjoyed. It's called Vortex Sucks Us In. We rally under a flag for unity. We use that as our symbol to connect us. And people wear their flag on a bandana to wipe sweat or on shorts to sit on. And think this is how we choose to be patriotic. But on a day like this, we use any excuse to get together and revel in the things that bind us, keep us together. And at moments like this, we feel the pull. And together, it's like we suddenly feel the tilt of planet Earth as it spins on its axis all year, and we fall in. Because at moments like these, with all this unity we share, we create a vortex. And as I said, we feel the pull of our axis of each other, and it sucks us in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one more poem for you. This piece is called Bronze Sculptures Will Crumble to Pieces. And it was written on the 24th of June, and it is written on and for the celebration of the Senses Day. Once visiting the Smithsonian Art Gallery in Washington, D.C., I told friends about enjoying the world through all of your senses. We've used sight, but I mentioned taste, smell, and touch. And as we proceeded to walk into a room with a bronze statue of the crucifix propped up against the wall, it's an interesting surface, one friend thought, so she touched the cold, smooth metal. Of course, that's when the guard from the other room ran in, yelling, "Hey, don't touch that!" But the deed was done. The guard is probably still fearing that the bronze sculpture will crumble to pieces because she grazed it with her bare hand. My suggestion to you is feel the texture of the food you eat as it glides down your throat. When you walk outside today, deeply inhale. Smell everything from the foliage in full bloom, or even the smell of the exhaust permeating the streets outside. Run your hand along the bark of a tree, or blades of grass, or even the concrete that commuters walk over every single day. Note the shapes of the clouds in the sky. Think of how the wind feels from outside, or from an indoor fan against your skin. And most importantly, the next time you hug someone, hold tight. And today, feel everything you can with all of your essence and all of your senses. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that installment of poetry. Getting your poetry fix today with material from the Scars Publications Down in the Dirt, May to August 2021 issue collection book. Lockdown's over. Yay! Lockdown's over, ladies and gentlemen, bots and goyles. Lockdown's over. Enjoy this book online or through Scars Publications, and seeing what time there is left, because sometimes we would leave a little early, somebody would have time for a group photo. I think I might be able to come back with one more reading for you guys during this 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time community poetry reading. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stay safe. Get vaccinated if you haven't. If you haven't, smack. What's your problem? Sorry. If you have an issue that you can't for an allergic reaction region or a medication problem, this I understand. Don't feel like you were smacked by that smack, though that's really fun to do with a camera. But if you have no reason to not, and it is free and you could be safer and we might be able to interact with each other again, do it. And I've even had my booster shot, so get it all done, people, so that we can all be safe and we can all be creatively inclined closer to each other, which is always cool. And if you're still trapped in the confines of your own boring home, like some of us are in times like this, know that you're always loved. Even in those bad moments, things can get better. So hang in there, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you very, very soon. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you, thank you.